He set off the fireworks and he blew up his hand. Hi there and welcome back to another Vlogmas video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mayra, and if you're a returning viewer, hi, welcome back. Let's clear the big elephant in the room. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, I did give myself a haircut. So I did kind of give myself some bangs, trimmed my hair a little bit, because year 2025 is the year we embrace the natural curls. So that's why I look a little different. So today I'm on the floor because we are going to be wrapping some Christmas presents. I have been kind of pushing this off to the side because we hadn't had all of our gifts that we're going to be giving. So we don't have a lot. I know it looks like a lot, but it's not. It's just a few little gifts. So we're going to start off with the easier ones. What that is, I don't know. So we bought a few toys. We bought this one, which is like a car. This one, I thought she was so cute. She's a vibe, she's a vibe. And then this one. So she has 3 kids and we're gonna be wrapping these up for them. And then actually I'm gonna need space. It's gonna be a little chaotic. While I'm wrapping these gifts, I'm gonna be sharing some of my favorite Christmas memories. Or maybe not favorite, but just funny ones that I remember, things like that. So growing up, my family and I, we always celebrated Christmas Eve. Because if you are Hispanic, that's our Christmas. For Christmas Day, we don't do anything. It's just the recalentado. So I grew up doing that. And honestly, that's the way we still do it to this day. That's the way our daughter's going to grow up. Because she has Mexican parents. And grandparents. So I remember growing up, we had a smaller family. Like, we didn't have all of our family here from Mexico that we do now. So growing up, we would get together with like my parents' like extended family. We do like gift exchanges, like Secret Santa. And usually we would do like a Secret Santa, like your typical one. And then we do like one with gag gifts. So the point was to kind of do like a funny gift. And it's so funny because my dad would always record like our Christmases and stuff. So we have videos of when I was younger and, you know, when we do the gift exchanges. But I remember one time, I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been my aunt. She gifted my brother like rocks, but it was so funny because she did it like a box within a box within a box within a box within a box. So he had to keep unwrapping boxes. It was actually pretty funny. And then it started off with like a pretty big box, and then it ended up being like the tiniest little box with like a few rocks. It was funny. And I remember that being like pretty funny to me as a kid. And then I remember, I might have been that same Christmas, but one of my aunts, I think it was one of my aunts. I don't remember who got who, but pretty much like an adult got another adult. And they gave them like this like little like elephant man thong. And I remember at the time I was maybe like 5 years old and I had no idea what it was. I just thought it was so funny because it was like a little elephant. And I remember like the little like nose part. If you guys have seen one, then you know what it is. But if not, I'll put a picture here. I thought it was the funniest thing because, you know, it looked like an elephant. But now looking back, like, it was like a sexual thing, where, you know, the little nose was for the little to go into. So yeah, that one was funny. But I remember when I was younger, like laughing, blah, blah, blah. That was the funniest thing. And then I come to realize it was not that child appropriate. But, you know, it was fun. One time, my cousin gave my dad some like underwear, but it was like underwear that had like butt implants in them. It was like the funniest thing. And she was like really little, which made it even funnier. But we all thought it was like the most hilarious thing, which it really was at the time. And to this day, you know, we kind of bring it up because it was really funny. Those are some good ones. I think one of my favorite memories of mine was one Christmas when I got a lot of stuff that I wanted. Well, actually, let me backtrack because it didn't start off really good. So for Christmas one year, I think I was maybe like 10. We had gone to my parents' cousin's house and it was like far away, and we had slept over, and there was my cousin and then another little girl that was there that we would play with. And I remember, you know, we would pretend with like pretend phone, and we were playing like that we were like señoras and whatnot. You know what you typically do at that age. And then she had gotten the real phone, but I thought she was playing, right? But she had called 911 and she was talking to them. And at this point, she was maybe like 8. And I thought she was, you know, playing because we were both pretending to be on the phone. And no, she had really called 911 and was saying she needed help and I don't know what. Fast forward to a few minutes later, 911 shows up. And when you have Hispanic parents that are here and undocumented, that's scary, you know, to everybody. And I remember at that time, one of my uncles was married to a girl and she spoke English. So she's the one that kind of dealt with it, you know. And I remember I got in so much trouble because that little girl called the police. My dad was the one that got me in trouble, not in front of the people, but like when we got home. And I remember being so pissed off because I was like, but why am I in trouble? Like, I am not the one that called. But my dad was like, well, you're the older one. You're the one that should know. And it's like, bro, I was 10. Like, what was I supposed to do? That's one memory that kind of, when I think Christmas, that's what I remember. Honestly, it's kind of a sucky memory. Not all memories about Christmas are the best, right? I also remember, I don't know if it was the year after that or the year before that. It might have been the year after. My dad thought it would be a good idea if we didn't celebrate Christmas and we just watched movies about Jesus. So we stayed home that year and just watched movies about Jesus. And that was a really sucky Christmas. I mean, I get it. That's what we're really celebrating, Christmas. But at the same time, as a kid, it sucks that you don't get to go and spend Christmas with everybody, you know. So that was a sucky one. I don't know if you can hear it, but my daughter's crying out in the living room. As a parent, if you're a mom, don't you just love it when your kids go psycho on their dads, like on your husband? Because then they get to see what you deal with every single day. So, just low-key makes me smile a little bit. Well, going back to the story about the time I got in trouble, that Christmas was actually one of my favorite Christmases when I got stuff. I remember that I got a karaoke machine because if you don't know, I love to sing and I've always loved singing. So I got a karaoke machine and I used that thing so much. Like I literally used it until it broke. And it was awesome. I also got some like CDs. I remember I got a Hannah Montana CD. I got the Cheetah Girls movie. I think it was the one where they go to Barcelona. I also got, what else did I get? I got High School Musical, like the movie. I got a whole bunch of things that year. But my favorite thing was the karaoke machine. And I remember my punishment was, I thought I wasn't going to get to like use any of the stuff that I got for Christmas, like from Santa Claus, because I was in trouble, you know. But no, they limited my usage time, so I still got to enjoy them. And I remember those were the best Christmas gifts I ever got. And then I remember the following year, I got a, I mean, every year we used to like, my mom would have us write down in a letter, you know, what we wanted from Santa so we could mail him our letter. And I remember I had written down a bunch of things. I remember I wanted like brats and stuff. And I didn't get that. I got this like voice lessons CD, like DVD thing. And I hated it so much, I remember. I even remember when I had gone out for something because we lived in an apartment complex. One of my friends had been like, oh, what did you get for Christmas? And I said nothing. Because I was so mad that I didn't get any of the stuff that I had asked for. That's all I had gotten. Which, in my parents' defense, we were going kind of through a tough time at that point. So I get it. You know, we weren't going to get all this stuff. And honestly, like, if anything, I should have just been happy that they got me something. But no, I had been an ungrateful little kid and say they didn't get me anything. But I don't remember I ever actually used it, honestly. Like, the first Christmas my husband and I spent together, like, after we became a couple, we didn't spend it together because, well, we knew we were serious about each other, but we didn't know, like, how serious, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. But we pretty much had a little, like, gift exchange before we actually, you know, before Christmas actually happened. What did I give him that year? I can't remember what I gifted him, but he gave me a perfume. It was like a gift set from Macy's, and it was like the Acqua di Gioia perfume by Giorgio Armani, which, if you saw my empties video, that's what I was talking about. And I finally used it up. That was like my first ever like designer fragrance. So I remember I was like, oh my god, I felt like so spoiled, you know. So next, this one I'm really excited to wrap. So this is the Inheritance Games. This book looks so good. We got this for a Secret Santa. And low-key, I got it because she loves to read, but also I'm hoping that if she doesn't like it or when she's in, I can read it. I was thinking about right now when I was wrapping some gifts was... So I don't know if anybody else watches La Rosa de Guadalupe like I do. One thing that I think about when I think of Christmas was this one episode that low-key was crazy, but pretty much it goes that it was about this one kid and he was like playing with fireworks because us Hispanics, you know, we like to throw fireworks at Christmas. And pretty much what happened was he set off the fireworks and he blew up his hand, like blew it up, where his hand was pretty much non-existent. So then, you know, everybody would make fun of him for his hand and how it just wasn't normal or whatnot. And then pretty much he ended up having like, I think like a prosthetic hand. And then pretty much the whole lesson was, you know, for kids to not play with fireworks because it's dangerous, which I totally get. But I mean, did they really have to blow up his hand? Like, I remember it was a crazy episode, and I saw this like when I was young. I was maybe like 12, so I was scared. It made me never want to even try it, but that was crazy. And like, they're crazy for doing that. I also remember this one episode. This one's my favorite, and I think it was one of the first episodes that I ever really saw. It was kind of like the Christmas Carol almost, like Scrooge and like the Ghost of Christmas Past and whatnot. That one. So it was kind of like that, where it was this girl, she, you know, she was the popular girl and she liked to party, you know, at the posadas, and she would get, you know, drunk and she would drive. So this one time she woke up, she was like, okay, you know, whatever. And then this little like ghost lady is like, you're dead, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I don't believe you. And then she's like, yeah, I'm going to show you your past, your present, and blah, blah, blah. So she's like, okay, sure. Like, this is a drink, but whatever, I'll go with it. So she shows her kind of like her past, not her present, and how she was this like really like stuck up girl that made fun of other people, bullied them, you know, drank and whatnot. And then showed her what happened to her, which is that she had like crashed because she was driving drunk. And then she showed her past, and you know how she used to be such a nice girl back in the day, and she, you know, was such a good daughter, such a good friend. And then pretty much what happened was that what made her change was that she was getting bullied at school for having a name. I think her name was like Begonia or something like that, which, yeah, the name speaks for itself. But you know, it was just crazy because then she, you know, changed things about herself and was like, that's it. I'm going to now go by the name B, you know, whatever. She was like, well, you know, you have to show me my future. Like, that's what happens in the story. And she's like, you don't have a future. You're dead. But she's like, I can show you other people's future and what it looks like without you in it. So her so-called friends didn't care. And her man was cheating on her with her supposed best friend. Yeah. And they were low-key kind of happy that she died. And meanwhile, this one girl, she kind of was was actually the one that cared about her. And her parents obviously were upset and everything. And so was her ex-boyfriend who loved her a lot. And then she, like, this can't be true. Like, I can't be dead. And the ghost lady's like, unfortunately you are. And so she asks La Virgen de Guadalupe, like, you know, I promise I'm gonna change. Just give me one more opportunity. Like, I promise I'm gonna be better. You know, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna change. And so she wakes up from her dream and she's like, ah. And so she changes everything. She's a much better daughter. She's a better friend. She goes to, like, her boyfriend's house and finds the girl and the guy there, like, in bed. And she's like, congrats, like, you guys deserve each other. And pretty much goes and makes up with her ex-boyfriend who loved her a lot. And then she's, like, wanting to do this whole thing for Christmas and wants to cook, and she's never cooked in her life. But it ends, you know, very, like, cutesy and whatnot. And then at the end, like, she sees a picture at, like, the maid's, like, room or whatever. And she's like, who's that lady in the picture? And she's like, oh, that's my mom. Like, you don't remember her because you were really little when she died. And she's like, that was the ghost lady. Like, shocker, right? But yeah, that's, like, one of my favorite Christmas La Rosa de Guadalupe episodes. I watch it every single year. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't watched it this year. So I'm gonna have to. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. I don't have a lot of gifts. I am going to be putting 2 of my other gifts in bags because they're not going to fit in a box. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this, you know, little ramble while I wrapped some gifts. I know it was kind of all over the place. I cannot believe we're almost done with Vlogmas. Like, where has the time gone? Yeah, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to keep seeing more videos from me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!